Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to yet another exciting session of e-learning. I'm your English teacher and I'm going to teach you today a small poem from your course book. The poem's name is The Flower School by Rabindranath Tagore. This poem is a vivid description of budding flowers and their growth in the spring season. It compares flowers to young school children. The speaker of the poem is a small child who talks to his mother about the flowers that go to school and their activities during the holidays. So, my dear students, before going to the poem, let us look at the learning objectives or the expected goal of the lesson. To know about the author, to appreciate the poem, to enrich vocabulary, to relate the text to experience in daily life, comprehending the poem from a child's perspective. Now, children, let's have a brief description about the author Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was born in 1861 and died in 1941. He was a famous Bengali writer who was also known for his contributions to art and music. He experimented with new prose and verse forms. In 1913, he became the first Asian to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for his collection of poems called Gitanjali. This made his writings internationally known and his fame spread throughout the world. Apart from this description, there is something else about him. Who wrote our national anthem? Check it and find it out. So let us move on to the poem and its explanation. The Flower School by Rabindranath Tagore. When storm clouds rumble in the sky and June showers come down, the moist east wind comes marching over the heath to blow its bagpipes among the bamboos. Now, let us move on to the explanation part. The poet starts the poem by portraying a typical rainy day scene from the month of June. In the second stanza, you can see three new words: moist, heath, and bagpipes, in which moist means slightly wet, heath, a large area of open land covered with wild grass and other plants. Bagpipe means a wind instrument with reed pipes to play music. So, in this stanza, the poet tells us that the wind passing through the bamboo bushes produces a melodious sound or a shrill sound. So, children, in this poem, in these stanzas, what time of the year is it? Is it rainy season or summer season? It is rainy season. Now, let's check the next stanzas. Then crowds of flowers come out of a sudden from nobody knows where and dance upon the grass in wild glee. In wild glee. It is a new word. Means in a very excited and happy way. So let's check the explanation. So when the flowers hear the bagpipes in the rainy season, they come out and dance upon the grass with great happiness. So, in the beginning itself, the poet tells us that after listening to the nature's call, the flower children come out or offshoot from underground and they start dancing on the grasses. So, children, can you compare this scene with something familiar to you? What do little children do when the bell rings at dispersal hours? Will they sit inside or will they rush out? They will rush out. So the poet compares the flower children to the young school-going children. And the flower children possess the same excitement and happiness like the small school-going children. Now, let us move on to the next stanza. Mother, I really think the flowers go to school underground. They do their lessons with doors shut. And if they want to come out to play before it is time, their master makes them stand in a corner. So, In these stanzas, in an enchantingly childlike manner, the speaker engages in a conversation with his mother. The poet gives the flowers life and personality of their own. He feels that the flowers go to school underground, where they learn their lessons behind the shut doors. So, without completing their work, their master doesn't let them come out to play. Here, master means class teacher. So, children, what according to the speaker is the punishment given for disobedience? Stand in a corner. Now, let's move on to the next stanza. When the rains come, they have their holidays. Branches clash together in the forest, and the leaves rustle in the wild wind. The thunderclouds clap their giant hands, and the flower children rush out in dresses of pink and yellow and white. So, further, the speaker, in a childlike way, tells that, however, when the rain comes, the flower children have their holidays. In the rain, the branches of the trees in the forest clash. The clouds will make noise by clapping their big hands. At this time, the flower children come out dressed in vibrant colors. So, what do the flower children do during holidays? They rush out to play. Now, let's move on towards the last stanzas. Do you know, mother, their home is in the sky where the stars are. Haven't you seen how eager they are to get there? Don't you know why they are in such a hurry? Of course, I can guess to whom they raise their arms. They have their mother as I have my own. So, in the last stanza, the poet's longing for his deceased mother evokes sorrow in reader's mind. He asks his mother if she knew the flower's home too was in the sky among the stars. He again asked her if she had not noticed how eager the flowers were to get back home. The last line of the poem brings tears to the eyes of the reader. The poet says that he knows why the flowers raise their arms to the sky. They do so because their mother is in the sky, exactly like the poet's mother, who also became a star in the sky after her demise. So that's all about the poem. Hope you all enjoyed it and appreciated it. So this is a short, sweet, beautiful poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. And Tagore compares the flower children to the young school-going children. The speaker of the poem is a small child who talks to his mother and who expresses his thoughts and feelings about the flower children to his mother. Now let's check the summary. This poem is a vivid description of budding flowers and their growth in spring, and it compares the flowers to young school children. The speaker seemed to be a young child who speaks to a mother figure in the poem, saying that he believes that the flowers must go to school underground. In this poem, the speaker is excitedly watching the monsoon rain and noticing small flowers that have bloomed all over the place. He wonders where they had been all through the year. He imagines they must have been in school, just like him. The speaker wonders why the pretty flowers are so eager to come out and play. He concludes that they too need the warmth and love of their mother. Now, children, let us move on to the question answer section. No need to copy it into your notebook. Sit and listen. The first question is, what does the east wind do in the month of June? Try by yourself. The answer is, the moist east wind blows through the bamboo grove during the month of June, making a sound similar to bagpipes. Second question, what does the speaker see while the storm clouds rumble in the sky? Just try it by yourself. And the answer is,
When the storm clouds rumble in the sky, the speaker notices a crowd of flowers dancing up happily upon the grass. Let's move on to the third question. Where do the flowers stay all year? What does the speaker imagine? The answer is, do you know the answer? Yes, the speaker imagines that all year round the flowers go to school underground. He thinks that the flowers study behind the shut doors under the supervision of a strict teacher who doesn't allow them to go and play. This is why they are not visible throughout the year. They only come out in June during the monsoon when their school also closes for vacation. Now, next question. How does the speaker describe the storm? The answer is, during the thunderstorm, the branches hit against one another and the leaves produces a rustling sound as the wild wind blows through them. The thunderclouds collide against one another and clap their giant hands together. The next question. What do the flowers raise their arms up to? Sorry, who do the flowers raise their arms up to? The answer is, who do the flowers raise their arms? Yes, the speaker imagines that the flowers raise their arms to their mother just as the speaker raises his arms to his mother. The speaker imagines that the sky is their home.
Now let's move on to think and answer. Why do you think the flowers dance upon the grass in wild glee? So, my dear children, why do you think so? Try to answer by yourself. Now, next, appreciating the poem. So, what are poetic devices or literary devices? You might have learned poetic devices in your previous classes. Poetic devices are techniques a writer uses to produce a special effect in their writing. For example, alliteration, personification, metaphor, simile, etc. So in this poem, the poet has used a new poetic device which you haven't learned before. That is imagery. From the word itself, it is clear that this poetic device creates a special image in reader's mind. In short, imagery is the descriptive language often used in poems that creates different images in the reader's mind. It appeals to the different senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. Now, pick one more example of each kind of imagery from the poem. First one, visual. For that, they have given one answer: crowds of flowers. You can add one more to the list. Can you add by yourself? Yes, the answer is flower children rush out in dresses of pink and white and yellow. Next one, auditory. They have given storm clouds tremble in the sky. You can add one more to the list. That is, the leaves rustle in the wind. Now, as you move to higher classes, you'll learn about it in detail. Here, we are only mentioning it. Now, let's move on to the next session, that is going further. The child imagines that the flowers go to school under the ground. What are the colors that come to your mind when you read about the world underground? Imagine that there is a similar world underwater. What colors would you associate with that world? So imagine this and just write it down in a piece of paper. No need to write it down in your notebook. So that's all for the day. Hope all of you have enjoyed the poem. Hope all of you are staying home and staying safe. Thank you.